Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. Today I'm going to be bitching and complaining about not being able to go back to China until maybe September. And I really miss China. I miss my friends. I miss my home in China. I miss the food. I miss my e-bike. I miss my gym. I miss Bob's Bar. Hanging out with Ronnie at Bob's Bar, or hitting McDonald's in the morning for coffee with Dave and the boys. I miss barbecue duck for 8 RMB for like a quarter of a duck. I miss buying brandy for 19 RMB, a bottle of brandy for 19 RMB. I miss going to Walmart and spending 3 RMB for a 16-ounce beer. I miss going to the wet markets and being able to buy barbecued duck heads and barbecued pig noses. Yes, I know that doesn't sound right. I miss my dim sum mornings where you can eat just about anything in China for dim sum morning. I miss going to the Korean barbecue for $11 and all you can eat and all you can drink, and the Yongjiang Hotel where it's got a Brazilian barbecue and all you can eat Brazilian barbecue, all the wine or beer you can drink, and you can get there at 5 o'clock in the afternoon and sit there and drink and eat till midnight, and it only costs you just under 20 bucks Canadian. You know, I miss the hustle and bustle of a 7 million person city, and I even miss the horn honking and the bike alarms going off at 3 o'clock in the morning. When I got back to Canada here, I couldn't sleep for the first 2-3 weeks. It was too quiet. My ears would ring. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff that I miss about China. You know, just the attitude of the Chinese people. Everybody up in the morning, out going to work. No freeloaders, no welfare, no handouts. You work or you starve, pretty well is what it comes down to. So, you know, I miss the hustle and bustle of China. I miss watching all the construction. I miss watching the place change from month to month because the buildings are going up and being torn down. The old stuff down, the new stuff up. You know, I miss going to Bobai and hanging out with family. You know, eating outside, cooking and eating outside. You know, the grave sweeping days. I miss walking through the rice paddies. I miss seeing the little poisonous snakes in the rice paddies. Yes, I do, because you take pictures of them, or the king cobras in the parking lots. Yes, every once in a while you see those. You know, there's some things I don't miss. I don't miss the rats and the pollution and the, you know, the stuff like that. But that's a small price to pay as far as I'm concerned for living in a place that has so much going for it. Yeah. And in China, I'm not bored. Here, I'm bored out of my gourd. Every day I've got to look for things to do. In China, it's just, things just happen, which is nice. You know, I do. I miss my friends. I miss going to Bob's Bar and the Queen's Head pub. I miss playing pool with my Chinese friends. Another thing I miss about China and Ho Chi Minh, because we're right by the university. I can't walk to the store without a bunch of young Chinese girls coming up and talking to me. Makes me feel good as an old guy, and I know that they're only doing it to practice their English skills, but still, you know, things like that. I did one video here about a year or so ago, and it's what I learned, what Gweilo 60 learned in China over the last, I think there was 15 years at that time. And in that video, I tried to figure out how many times I would be approached in the time that it took me to make a video. 11 times. 11 girls came up to me in a matter of, I don't know, 15-20 minutes. So that's another thing that I miss a lot. one of the biggest things that I miss about being in Canada is making these videos with Chinese content in China, and I guess getting lost in China, like that one video I did, getting lost in China, what it's like to get lost in China. That's one of the things that I really enjoy is getting lost in China. Going to different places like Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, Taishan, Kaiping, Kunming. I've even been to Shangri-La in Upper Yunnan Province, Lijiang, and we travel all over the country. North, south, east, and west, and I miss that. And traveling in China is inexpensive to fly everywhere. If you're going to drive, if it's not within a couple hours, everybody flies. Everybody that's got money flies. The rest of the people take buses, and now they got the high-speed trains, so you don't even have to fly. I miss the high-speed trains to Hong Kong and Guangzhou, yes, or Beihai. I miss the South China Sea. I miss hanging out on the Vietnamese border and renting places in Gweilo and just drinking beer with your buddies. Yes, I miss all of this stuff. In Canada, it's so expensive to go around. Hotel rooms are $100+ a night. You want to buy a case of beer, you're looking at $20-30. You go out for supper, $150. My God, and I'm not getting as much as I get at the Zhangjiang Hotel for $20. And so the cost of living in China, I miss that too. Being in Canada is one of the most expensive places to live. And being in British Columbia, BC, they say it stands for bring cash. I believe that because living in British Columbia is very expensive as compared to my life in China. So there's so many things that I miss about my life in China. But the most I miss about China is when Wei Fong is hanging around her friends and her family. She seems to be happier, so seeing that in her is a good thing. Sometimes she gets grumpy with her dad because he's an old Chinese guy and he's set in his ways, but when you see her with her friend Lisa and Mayran and Ling and people like that, she's got a sparkle in her eye, and she's happy that she's there, and she's eating the food that she grew up with, and the surroundings that she's comfortable with. So that's another thing that I really miss about China, is seeing that Wei Fong is happy, safe, and content. Oh, and the safety in China. After 16 years in China, I've only saw one violent act in 16 years in China. And that was two guys at the fish market, fish selling people, went at each other with knives. Now look at this. See, there's another one in the bush over there. That's just a little baby. That's just the spots are just gone there. Still got a little bit of spot. Yeah. Vancouver Island, eh? Yeah, we're... Watch him jump that. Yeah, Vancouver Island. You see, you got the ducks and you got the squirrels and you got the deer and you got the rabbits and you got the hummingbirds and you've got all of these things that if it was in China, somebody would catch these critters and eat them. But we're not in China. We're in Canada, so we can have basically tame deer hanging out in the same park as I'm making a video, and they don't seem to be too scared of. Look at this little guy here. Hey. Following mama. Oh yes, they are. So like, ain't that sweet? See, every time I leave China and I'm gone for a little while, I go back and so much has changed there. So when I leave, I feel like I'm missing out on something. And because you do miss out on stuff. If you're not there for 6 months or a year, boy, a lot of things change. So that's another thing I miss about China, is missing out on watching China grow and thrive and get bigger and better and newer buildings and just all of that stuff. The subway systems, the just everything that they build in such a short time, because they don't have to be so politically correct, and they're not prying tree-hugging hippies off of trees before they have to cut them down to put a road in. Yes. Maybe I'm just not a BC kind of person if I'm not hugging a tree. More of like a Saskatchewan kind of person. Grab my 12-gauge shotgun, go shoot a duck and eat it. Yes, and eat it. Or a goose, or a deer, or an elk, or, even bear. The Saskatchewan boys, they like to eat bear. Yes, they do. So there's a number of things that you have to, I guess, try to fit in when you're in BC. Nah, I don't know. We're going back to China. That way we don't have to be politically correct, and I enjoy it there. After living in a condo in Nanaimo here, and it's not much different than living in a condo in China, in Nanning City. Except for the cost. My God, like, I'm paying about $300 a month just for condo fees, which is equivalent to about 1,500 RMB. That's a month. Okay. In China, and here I have a 1-bedroom apartment, and in China I have a 3-bedroom apartment, and my yearly fee for condo fees in China is 600 RMB for the year. So just about 1/3 the cost of just 1 month condo fees in Canada does me a year in China. So you got to think the cost of living is an important part of any retired person's life. If you think about it, in Nanning, for 10,000 RMB, I can live like a king. Here, $2,000 just sort of pays the basics. So that's one of the things that I really notice. Anyway, that's another video from Gweilo 60. I hope you like it, and if you do, like, comment, subscribe, push that share button, and thanks for watching. Bye now. But Canada's pretty. Look at this stuff, eh? You can see in the background the evasive Chinese girl with a camera taking pictures of everything. Yes, we have those here in Canada too, not just in China. Flowering trees everywhere.